What's up mga ka-ML? Magandang araw sa inyo. Alam nyo ba na merong isang topic sa mathematics na kayang-kaya mong gamitin sa kahit anong klaseng problem? Mapa geometry man ito, statistics, or even algebra. Elementary ka man o high school, pag meron ka malakas na foundation ng topic na ito, malaking bagay ito sa pag-aaral mo. So tune in, relax, and please finish this video. Alright, what's up mga ka-ML? Isang magandang araw sa inyo. Katatapos lang ng second grading natin at ngayon sa pagpasok ng ating third quarter grading, we will be having new topics sa ating ML or Math Learning with Sir Ash. Ako pa rin ang inyong abot kamay na math teacher, and for today, we will be discussing a topic that will become a foundation of this unit of this quarter sa grade 9 mathematics. Ano itong topic na ito na kayang mag-solve kahit yung mga geometry, algebraic, at saka even the statistics na mga problems, even the simple and the complex problems, ay pwede mo siyang mai-apply. At ang topic na ito ay walang iba kundi ang ratio and proportions. Now, itong ratio and proportion, when you were back in elementary, don't you know that this topic is very important kasi halos lahat ng mga mathematical problems na ginagawa natin sa pag-solve ng value ng x at saka even yung mga different problems regarding on any situation sa mathematics, somehow, kaunti, there are properties that we apply in terms of this topic. So, let's start. Okay, ratio and proportion. So ano ba ang mga madidiscuss natin sa topic na ito? Una, syempre, ano nga ba yung ratio? Tapos, paano ba ginagamit ang ratio? Paano ba mag-simplify ng ratio? And then, habang tumatagal tayo sa discussion ng ratio, syempre, tatamaan natin ang proportion because the more ratios we are considering, it will become proportion. But not all ratios na itatabi mo or i-compare mo always proportion. Maya-maya, malalaman mo kung kailan nga ba matatawag natin na proportion ang mga ratios. Alright. Then, when we discuss about proportion, first is we will also know about what is a proportion, syempre, and what are the properties of proportion. And then, paano ba gamitin ang proportion. And somehow, we will also tackle some problems about how this topic is being applied or in a real life setting. Okay, let's start. Now, what is ratio? Ratio is basically the comparison of two numbers. Now, kung iisipin natin ang mga numbers, pag merong dalawang bagay na kinompare mo or dalawang unit na kinompare mo, considered as ratio na yun. Now, if you could ask me, sir, parang familiar yata yung word na ratio. Yes, it is very familiar because most of the numbers in our number system are considered to be a rational number or rational numbers. Now, when we say rational numbers, those are numbers na expressed as ratio. Ibig sabihin, it is in the comparison of two quantities. Now, alam nyo ba na ang mga integers, yung positive, yung negative, at saka yung zero, those are considered as ratios or rational numbers because from the word itself, ratio. Ratio yun sila. At yung mga fraction, syempre, yung merong numerator at denominator, klaro-klaro din yun as ratio because it is a comparison of two numbers. Now, ang tanong ngayon, sir bakit na consider natin na yung mga positive numbers, yung mga negative numbers, na consider yun siya as ratio? Now, always remember that a whole number, let's say positive 5, though isang number lang yan siya, paano mo matatawag na ratio yan na ang ibig sabihin ng ratio is comparison of two numbers? Now, always remember that yung lahat ng mga whole numbers, meron yan siyang invisible na over 1. Hindi lang natin sinusulat. It's because number 1, well, it is a common sense na. And number 2, it's a waste of time and pen. Yun nga. Alright, so, let's continue. Now, ratios can be expressed in three ways. Number 1, pwede mong gamitin ang word na is to or to. Ibig sabihin, A is to B o ganon. Or A to B. Then, pangalawa naman is ang paggamit ng colon. Yung yan. yung dalawang tuldok sa gitna ng dalawang quantity. So, A colon B. O, yun. So, A to B. Then, we can also express this as the very much familiar on us, which is the fraction, the use of fraction. So, you just put A over B. But remember, if we are talking about fractions, since that is a numerator and denominator, now, this denominator should never become 0 because if it does, kung magiging 0 yung denominator side natin, technically, magiging undefined yun. So, when we express ratios in terms of fractions, see to it that the denominator will never become equal to 0. Alright? Let's continue. Now, ratios are expressed in simplest form. So, technically, if there are two numbers being compared, tapos pwede mo pa siyang i-simplify, then you have to simplify them in order for that two compared numbers become a ratio. Okay, later on, mas maiintindihan mo yan. Okay, now, paano ba ginagamit ang ratio? Okay, example, malalaman or mas matututunan nyo ito or mas ma-understand ninyo ito if we will apply it to the real life setting. Now, ito. The ratio of boys and girls in the class is 12 to 1. So, ibig sabihin, in every 12 boys, we have 11 girls. But, if you ask me, sir, what is the total number of the whole class? Now, 12 and 11, so that is 23. Now, in an ideal or maybe in a common Philippine classroom, the class size is never become 12 and 11 or let's say a total of 23 students because most likely lalong-lalo na sa mga public schools like in our school, the common number is technically 45 to 50 or sometimes it goes up to 60. Now, some other schools naman, they have 70 students in a classroom. So, napakadami yun. So, the question is this given example realistic? Now, technically, as ratio itself, it is realistic because it is already in the simplified form. However, if we put it in a real life setting, now, it says here that in every 12 boys, there are 11 girls. Now, if we try to double the number of boys and it will become 24 boys, now, syempre, yung number of girls, which is 11, madodouble din yun. So, magiging 22. So, you will have 24 boys out of 22 girls. Now, if you try to add them, 24 and 22, that is already 46 students in a class. And that is a normal setting for a classroom. Somehow, if you put it in a whole, let's say, conference room, if you multiply the number of boys 10 times, so that will become 120 boys. And since you multiply it 10 times, so technically, ganun din ang magiging factor mo sa number of girls. So, the girls will also be multiplied by 10. So, you will also have 110 girls. And that is very huge. So, 200 plus yan siya. 230 students all in all in a class or in a given room. So, now, why am I telling you this ratio and proportion? This ratio. Now, as the information itself, the ratio here is 12 to 1 or 12 is to 1. That's the ratio because that is the simplified form. However, if you use the 24 is to 22, or that is still a ratio. And later on, you will learn how that given comparison connected or somehow related to the 12 is to 11 ratios. Okay, let's continue. Now, how about this one? The ratio of length and width of this rectangle is 4 to 1. So, it means that for every 4 times or let's say 4 centimeters ng length sa isang rectangle, you will have 1 width. So, therefore, if given like this, 4 centimeter ang length, ang haba ng length, tapos yung kapal niya is 1 centimeter, kung palalakihin mo ang rectangle na ito, what if I will make twice as big as this given rectangle? So if you get twice as big, so therefore you get the product of 4 and 1 multiplied by 2 each. So that is 4 times 2 and 1 times 2. So you will have 8 centimeters as the new length and 2 centimeters as its new width. Alright? Now, let's put another example. The ratio of cats and dogs at my home is 2 to 1. So, ibig sabihin sa bahay, meron daw 2 cats and 1 dog. So, it means that the ratio, hindi sinasabi dito na yung nasa bahay ay 2 cats lang at saka 1 dog. It just means na kung gaano man karami ang nasa bahay na yan, there is always a pair that we get sa bawat isang aso, merong 2 cats na ka-pair niya. Okay, so that is the ratio. Now, remember, if we consider this in a house, somehow dogs and cats in a usual setting, hindi talaga yan nagkakasundo. So, malamang-lamang in order to have a fair fight, kailangan na 2 pusa para sa isang aso. Alright, yun. So, how many dogs and cats do I have? So, we don't know. All we know is that if they start a fight, each dog has to fight 2 cats. O, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Alright, now let's continue. Now, how do we simplify ratio? Okay, ito na yung sinasabi ko. Now, yung mga binigay kanina, yung 12:11 or 12/11, if it is expressed in fraction, 4:1 or 4/1, and ito yung sa cats and dogs na 2/1. So, all of them are already in the simplified form. Now, the question is, sir, how do we know na ang isang given ratio or a fraction is already in the simplified form? Now, technically, you just get it if ever wala ka ng number na pwede pang mag-simplify doon. Now, how do you simplify ratios? You just need to find one number that can be divided both in the numerator and denominator, na except for 1 because kung 1 lang naman ang i-divide mo sa mga fraction, babalik ka lang sa original form. So, walang sense yun. Alright. So, if ever meron kang makita na number na pwede mag-divide sa numerator and denominator, so, and you succeed on that process, now you can still simplify the said or the given fraction. Alright. Okay, now let's have an example here. Now, I have 12 cats and 6 dogs. Now, can you simplify the ratio to 2:1? Now, ito yung tanong ngayon. Now, ang 12 at saka 6, ano bang factor na pwede makapag-divide sa 12 at 6? Alright, very good. So, that is 6. Tama? Though, pwede siya ma-divide sa 2, pwede siya ma-divide sa 3, but we always use the GCF or the greatest common factor. So, what is the greatest common factor of 12 and 6? So, that is 6. So, 12 divided by 6, that will become 2. And 6 divided by 6, that will become 1. So, still, you will have 2/1. So, we use the greatest common factor. Okay? So, napakadali lang, diba? Now, if in any case, ganito, I'll teach you some tips. If in any case, na masyado na malaki ang number, tapos you are not very good in finding the greatest common factor, then, what you can do is, you can use small numbers, like, let's say, 12/6. Hindi ko nakuha na pwede pala siya makuha ng 6, or hindi ko nakuha na pwede pala siya makuha ng 3. Basta alam ko, both of them, 12 and 6, are even numbers, so pwede siyang i-divide ng 2. So, if you try to divide 12 and 6 by 2, you will get 6/3. However, yung 6 at saka 3, meron pang number na makakapag-divide nun. So, you always find the numbers. You will try your best to find those numbers hanggang sa wala na talagang number na pwede pa makapag-divide sa kanila except 1. At kapag 1 na lang ang kapag 1 na lang ang tanging number na pwede makapag-divide sa kanila, doon ka lang magsa-stop sa pag-simplify ng ratios. Alright. Napakadali lang, di ba? Okay, let's continue. Now, ito naman, another example. A person's arm is 80 centimeters. He is 2 meters tall. Now, ang tanong dito, find the ratio of the length of his arm to his total height. So technically, ang pag-compare dito is the arm and the height. Okay? So the arm and the height. So how do we get the ratio of this one? Now, hindi dahil 80 at 2, pwede mo siyang i-simplify or may common factor siya, diretso ka na agad. Now, ito ang palaging nagiging error ng mga students. Okay? Masyado sila excited. Okay? So, huwag ka muna mag-divide. Think first. Pareho ba ng unit of measure ang binigay? Now, as we can see, the first given was 80 centimeters. The second given was meters, 2 meters. So, hindi mo pwedeng i-simplify ang hindi magkapareho. Sabi pa nga nila, pag hindi pareho, hindi compatible. Huwag mo pilitin. Alright. So, what we will do is you tend to get them to convert. You tend to convert one of them in order for them to be paired or para maging pareho sila. Okay? Compatible. So, ang tanong ngayon, sir, sino bang susundin ko? Si centimeters ba o si meters? Technically speaking, either way, tama ka. Pwede mong sundin si centimeter, pwede mong sundin si meter. However, ang gagawin mo dito is, ipapakita ko sa inyo ngayon na ano ba mas mabuti? Ano bang mas madali? Okay? Alright. Now, to compare them, we need to convert both numbers in the same unit. Okay? So, either centimeter or meter. Now, let's start with centimeter. Okay? So, arm is to height or arm over height. Our arm is 80 centimeters and our height is 2 meters. So, since centimeters ang tinatry natin dito, ang 80 centimeters, huwag mo nang baguhin kasi centimeters na yon. Ang babaguhin mo na lang is 2 meters. Ito ang tanong ngayon, paano ba i-convert ang 2 meters sa centimeters? Now, always go back to your lesson in measurement, okay? Or even what you just know in a common setting. Now, remember that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So, sa isang meter stick, meron yung 100 centimeters. So, technically, ang 2 meters is 2 meter stick. So, therefore, meron kang 200 centimeters. Okay, so 80 centimeters become 200 centimeters. By doing so, na meron ka ng 2 centimeters, pwede mo na yan siyang i-cancel out ang mga centimeters. And you can just simplify 80 over 200. Okay, now, ang tanong ngayon, how do you simplify 80 and 200? Now, masyado malaking numbers ito. Now, isang technique dito is that if 2 numbers ends with 0, you can always divide them with 10. Okay, so that will become 8 over 20. However, 8 over 20 can still be divided by 4. Tama? So, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 20 divided by 4 is 5. So, you will have an answer of 2 over 5. However, ito na naman. Now, sir, bakit ka gumamit ng mga maliliit na number? Para yun sa mga nahihirapan, gumamit ng greatest common factor. But, if you want to use the greatest common factor, 80 and 200, the greatest common factor of these two numbers is 40. So, if you divide both sides by 40, so 80 divided by 40, that is 2. 200 divided by 40, and that is 5. So, you will have 2 over 5. And that is now your ratio for the arm and height. Okay? So, napakadali lang, di ba? Okay, now, ang tanong naman ngayon, sir, what if meters naman ang gusto ko? Pwede natin gamitin yan. So, if either meter, ganun pa rin, arm over height. So, what you will do here is 80 centimeter over 2 meters. Now, since ang 2 natin is already in meters, what we will do is convert the 80 centimeters into meter. Now, as what I've said earlier, ang isang meter stick or ang isang meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Ito, 80 centimeters. Ito hindi umabot sa 100 cm. So, technically, the answer of that one is 0.8 meters. Now, if it is 100, so ang gagawin mo lang is 80 divided by 100. That is 0.8 meters. Now, if you simplify 0.8 meters and 2 meters, now, you cannot use the, greatest common factor, because if you use the greatest common factor in each of these numbers, what you will have is, you will get another decimal value. Now, what I suggest is that, since you are using fractions, as much as possible, convert the decimal into a whole number, because fraction should not, fraction should not have decimal numerators or denominators, kasi mawawala ang essence ng fraction. Kasi if you in a common setting, you can express two numbers by fractions or by decimals, not a combination of the two. So mawawala ng sense yun. So how do we simplify the 0.8 into a whole number, or a number na a whole number na numerator? Okay, so syempre what we will do here is, ano ba ang kailangan ni 0.8 para maging whole number? So technically, since that is 8 tenths, diba? Pag babasahin natin 8 tenths, so you just multiply it by 10. So by multiplying by 10, it will become 8. Syempre, sa mathematics, kung anong ginawa mo sa taas, yun din ang gagawin mo sa baba. So magmo-multiply ka din kay 2 ng 10. So the 0.8 will become 8, and the 2 will become 20, because 2 times 10 is 20. Alright. Now, 8 over 20, if you simplify 8 over 20, you will have 2 over 5. And that is still the same as the answer kanina doon sa centimeters. Tama? Now, kung titingnan natin ito, masyadong mahaba. Tama? Masyadong mahaba ang process. So, what do I suggest? I suggest that when you simplify ratios, and if you encounter two numbers, two quantities that have different units, what you will do is you try to follow the smallest unit. Okay? You follow the smallest unit. And by doing so, you will get a given, mas madali na yung pag-simplify. Okay? So, ganon. Now, how to simplify? Another, if the numerator and denominator do not have the same unit, it may be easier to convert to the smaller unit, so we don't have to work with decimal. Katulad nito, 3 centimeters over 12 meters. So, sa centimeter and 12 meters, so ang i-convert mo dyan is yung 12 meters. So, remember kanina, 1 meter is to 100 centimeters. So, 12 meters times 100, that will become 1,200 centimeters. And if you simplify 3 centimeters over 1,200 centimeters, you will have 1 over 400. Same goes sa example number 2, 2 kilograms over 15 grams. Now, saan ba ang mas maliit dito? Si 15 grams, syempre. So, sa 2 kilograms, from the word itself, kilo, that is 1,000. So, in 1 kilogram, that is 1,000 grams. So, if in 2 kilo, how many grams in 2 kilograms? So, that is 2,000. Alright? So, it will become 2,000 grams over 15 grams. So, if you convert 2,000 divided by 15, or 2,000 over 15, you get the greatest common factor, and you will have a result of 400 over 3. So, ang tanong yun, sa ano bang greatest common factor dun? 5. Okay? 5. Okay, now, question number 3, example number 3, 5 feet over 70 inches. Now, feet and inches, these are examples in the English metric system. Now, 5 feet and 70 inches, sino ba mas malaki? Si feet o si inches? Syempre, si feet. Kasi, sa isang ruler, 1 foot yun. Tama? Sa isang ruler, 1 foot. That is 12 inches. Okay. So, stay put si 70 inches sa denominator side. So, si 5 feet, i-times mo lang ng 12 inches. Kasi, 12 man ang isang foot. So, 5 times 12, that will become 60 over 70. And since 60 and 70 have both numbers ends in 0, so you can just cancel the zeros, and you have 6 over 7. Alright, napakadali lang. And this one, 2 grams over 8 grams. Now, question number 4, napakadali lang. 2 grams over 8 grams. Pareho silang 2 grams. So, huwag ka nang magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Ang gagawin mo na lang ay, idiretso mo lang sila ng convert. So, 2 and 8. What is the greatest common factor? 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So, 1/4. Of course, if they are already in the same units, you don't have to worry about converting. Good deal. Alright. Okay, next. Let's talk about, ito, challenge muna sa inyo. Tapos na tayo sa ratios na topic. Okay? Now, try to to simplify this problem. Try this, okay? Let's continue. Now, let's go about proportions. Now, sir, ano mo ibig sabihin ng proportion? Technically, kanina, meron na tayong ginagawang proportion. Ano may ibig sabihin? Proportion kasi is a matter of when you equate or when you have two ratios that are equivalent with each other, that is considered a proportion. Now, kung babalikan natin yung kanina, papakita ko lang. Ito. Example number 4, 2/8. At saka, magiging 1/4 yan. Now, yung 2/8 na yan, or yung 2 grams over 8 grams, 2/8, that is already a comparison of two quantities. That is already one ratio. Now, if you simplify that one, we have 1/4. Now, that 2/8 and that 1/4, they are two equivalent ratios. Okay? And since they are two equivalent ratios, we can call them as proportion. So, to make the long story short, a proportion is an equation of two ratios. Okay? Now, kung hindi equivalent ang dalawang ratio, then that is not a proportion. That is just a mere two different ratios. Ganun lang. Alright? Now, so, technically, if we denote it with a letter, it is A over B is equal to C over D. Okay? So, the ratio, example of that one is the ratio of dogs and cats was 3/2. So, if you tend to get twice as much of the number of dogs and cats, you will have 6 dogs out of 4 cats. Okay? And 6/4 is equal to 3/2 by multiplying them both. But somehow, I will teach you later on how to ano tawag dyan, paano mo siya matitest na, itong dalawang ratios na ito, ano yan, proportion yan. Okay? Now, so we have, just example, so we have a proportion, 3/2 is equal to 6/4. Okay? So, para mas malaman nyo kung anong technique or anong gagawin nyo sa mga ratios, sa mga proportion, para malaman nyo talaga na yan, dalawang given na ratios na yan, proportion yan, merong mga properties na pwede natin sundin. Okay? I will teach you 3 different properties. Somehow, other books uses 6 properties, but the other 3 properties, among the 6 properties, somehow, medyo nawawala na yun siya sa sense niya, or nawawala na sa technique or sa pinakamabilis na paraan para mag-solve ng problem. So, somehow, I will just teach you 3 properties of a proportion. Okay, the first one is ano na yan? Alright, that is what we call the cross product property. So, malalaman mo na proportion ang dalawang fraction or dalawang ratio kapag kinross multiply mo sila. So, you multiply the numerator in the first fraction to the denominator of the second fraction. And likewise, you multiply the denominator of the first fraction to the numerator of the second fraction. Now, kung ang lalabas na product ay magkapareho, then you can say that the two ratios are proportion. Alright. Okay, so example of this one is 3 times 4, that is 12, and 2 times 6 is still 12. So therefore, 3 times 4 is equal to 2 times 6, and we can say that they are proportion. Okay, so that is based on the cross product property. Now, kung titingnan nyo, atong cross product property, ginagawa natin to sa value ni X. Yung meron tayong mga problem ni X noon. Okay, example tayo ha. Okay. Let's consider one example here. Let's say you have X over 10 is equal to 4 over 40. Yan. So, ang tanong yan, ano kaya ang magiging value ni X? So, technically, by just using the cross multiplication, we have 40x equals 4 times 10, that is 40. So, syempre, when we try to solve for the value of X, we tend to isolate the value of X by dividing both sides by 40. So, makancel out ito, and X will become 1. So, that's it. So, it is an application in algebra. Alright? Now, somehow in in the lesson in geometry na meron ka ding ma-encounter na ganitong klaseng problem. And somehow, the ratio and proportion will help you along the way. Okay, now, let's continue. Okay, now, here is A over B is equal to C over D. That is the denotion about the proportion. Tama? Now, technically, if you apply yung ibang yung paggamit ng colon, you will have A to B equals C to D. Now, sa elementary, mas common ito. Tama? Ginagamit ito as the means, yung nasa loob, and the extremes, yung nasa labas. Now, by doing so, by multiplying the means, yung mga inner terms, and the extremes, yung outer terms, if the product of that pair, or those pairs, is the same, then that is a proportion. Let's make sense of the cross product property. For any numbers A, B, C, and D, now, ito yung parang, proving niya. Now, if we tend to multiply both, yung parang i-eliminate natin yung denominator in each side. Now, if A over B is being multiplied both the left and the right side of the equation by the denominator of one of the fractions, that let's say it's D. So, if you multiply A over D times D, and on the other side, you also multiply C over D times D, now, it will cancel out the D in the right side, yung mga D's niya. Okay? So, you will have A over B times D equals C. Okay? Somehow, it's still not yet finished because meron pang denominator na natira, yung B. So, you multiply again the whole equation by its remaining denominator, and that is B. So, if you do that one, so that A over B times D times B on the left side, and on the other side is B times C. Now, by doing so, you can cancel out the B, and you will have A times D is BC. So, ganon ang pag-derive niya. Okay? But to make the long story short, since this is math learning with Sir Ash, what you will do is you just cross-multiply them. Alright. Next. Property, pangalawa is the inverse property. Ano ba itong inverse property? Sabi nila, from the word itself, inverse, balik ta rin. If 3 over 2 is equal to 6 over 4, then we can say that 2 over 3 is equal to 4 over 6. Anong proving dun? Okay, so technically, you can prove this property by the first property, yung cross-multiply or cross-product property. If you multiply 2 times 6 and 3 times 4, in the second part or second proportion, the answer is still the same. Okay? So, yun siya. Okay? Now, ano tong third? Okay. Hindi ko nilagay dito sa presentation ko because somehow, this third is not really, ang tawag dyan, parang, hindi masyadong ina-apply. Now, let's consider this one. 3 over 2 and 6 over 4. Okay? 3 over 2 is equal to 6 over 4. That's the original. Now, itong third property na ituturo ko sa inyo, this is what we call the alternation property. Alright. Alternation. Sorry sa handwriting ko, property. Okay. The alternation property. Sabi nila, or among the mathematicians, if you alternate one pair, yung isang cross, or isang ganun, the answer is still the same. Example, if we alternate this number to this number, it will become 3 over 6 is equal to 2 over 4. As you can see, ito, change ko lang, pinagpalit ko lang sila. Either way, on the other side, I could change this 2, okay, from the original. So, that will become 4 over 2 is equal to 6 over 3. So, in this example, we have this one, alternate, nag-alternate sila, pero stay put lang yung the other pair. Then, ito naman yung in-alternate ko. So, 4 at saka 3. Nag-stay put lang si 2 at 6. Either way, they are just the same. The result of this one and the result of this one is just the same when you apply the cross product property. So, by using the alternation property, you will get the value. You will still have equivalent ratios. Now, let's try to simplify. Okay. 3/6. What is the simplified form of 3/6? What is the lowest term of 3/6? So, by using the common factor, the greatest common factor, 3 and 6, the greatest common factor is 3. Tama? So, by dividing 3 and 3 here, we will have 1/2. And by using the same manner, what is the common factor of 2 and 4? You will have what the greatest common factor of 2 and 4, that is 2. So you divide 2 here and you also divide 2 here. So that is 1 and 2, and they are just the same. Now somehow if you are doubtful of this kind of simplifying, now you can use the cross multiplication property, or you multiply this one. So that is 12. You multiply this one, and it's still 12, and they are just the same. Alright. Okay. Now how about this kind of alternation? Now, we have here, you can simplify this one. Tama? 4 divided by 2, or 4/2, or 4 divided by 2, because that over means division. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. They are just the same. And still, if you are doubtful about this kind of simplification, you can still cross multiply them using the cross product property. So 4 times 3, that is 12, and 2 times 6 is still 12, and they are just the same. Alright, so that is the alternation property. Now, ang tanong ngayon, sir, can we apply this one in our problem in other fields of mathematics like algebra? Now, somehow, ito, hindi masyado itong tinuturo sa mga teachers na encounter ko, but along the way of learning mathematics, somehow I was able to share this to my students. Okay, example tayo ha. Let's say what x over 3 is equal to, let's say 12 over 9. Okay. Now, what is the way here? Di ba ang aim natin is isolation? Tama? Isolation. So, x over 3 is equal to 12 over 9. So, ano dapat ang i-multiply? Ano dapat si x para maging equal or maging proportion ang given na ito? What should be the value of x? Now, using the alternation property and the cross product property, ito siya, paiwan mo si x. Tama? So, nandyan na siya sa numerator side. Ang gagawin mo lang is you just multiply this one. So 3 times 12 over 9. Sorry, baka mag-confuse kayo. 3 times 12 equals 3 times 12 over 9 equals the x. Now, paano to? So that is 3 times 12, that is 36 over 9, and 36 divided by 9 is 4. So therefore, the value of x is 4. So if we try to check this one, okay? If we try to check this one, so using the cross product property, 3 times 12, 36, 4 times 9, 36. You are just the same. Now, ang tanong, sir, what if nasa denominator side ang unknown? Okay, tuturo ko sa inyo yan. Okay? What if nasa denominator side ang unknown? Okay. Here's the catch. Let's say 4. Oh, ito, ganun pa rin. Okay. So, 12 over 9. Now, it is very obvious, no, from our example na 3 ang sagot. But, if in any case, hindi daw natin alam ito, paano to ipapakita in a way na in-apply natin si alternation property, pero ang ginawa natin is hindi na masyadong naging komplikado ang pagsosolve. So, by using the cross product property, ang aim kasi natin dito is we try ourselves to isolate x, tama? So, by doing so, cross multiply, we have 4 times 9. Ito yon. Okay? And you apply cross multiplication alternation property. So, by doing so, dito na magiging si 12, dito na magiging si x. So, na-isolate po na agad ang x. So, by doing this one, 4 times 9, that is 36, divided by 12, and x now is equal to 3 in this problem. So, 3 na yun. And they are just the same. Okay? So, technique here in algebra. If x is in the numerator, what you will do is you multiply and then as is lang si x. Hindi mo na siya gagalawin dyan. Okay? Kanina, nandito man yun si x. Tama? Oh. As is lang si x dyan, ito lang gagalawin mo. And then, you simplify the right side. Samantalang, kapag nandito naman si x sa denominator side, what you will do is you use the alternation property para mapapunta si x sa numerator side. Okay? So, nandun na siya sa taas. Tapos, itong nasa 9 niya at saka 4, which is the denominator here, yan. So, parang ganito lang din. Okay? Kung magiging ito siya, maglilipat na dito, nandito na si x, nandito na si 12. Itong 4 at 9, gagawin mo lang parang ganito. Okay? So, nabadali lang, di ba? So, that's it. That's how you use the cross product property, the inverse, and alternation property in solving common problems. Alright. Okay, next. How about another example? Okay. So, we have here, 7 over 2 is equal to x over 6. Now, kung titingnan natin itong 7 over 2 over x, you can use the cross product property, common. Okay? By doing so, we have 7, 6 is equal to 2x. Okay? So, 7 times 6, that is 42, equals 2x. Then, you divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So, that is 2. So, you divide both sides by 2. So, you will have x is equal to 21. However, kung gagamitin mo yung alternation property at saka yung cross product property, as is mo na lang si x. Okay? As is mo na lang si x. Tapos, si 7 at si 6 lang ang i-multiply mo. So, you will have 7 times 6 divided by 2. And the final answer is still 21. Alright? So, napakadali lang, diba? How about another example? Okay, ito. 7 over 2 is equal to 12 over x. Now, if you can use the cross product property, then you can use the cross product property. So, that is 7 times x and then 2 times 12. And that is 24. 2 times 12. So, divide both sides by 7. You will have 24 over 7. Okay? Now, as you can see here, 24 over 7 cannot be simplified. Hindi madidivide ang 24 sa 7. Tama? So, wag mo nang gamitin yun. Wag mo nang i-divide kasi you will get a decimal value. Okay? So, yun na yun siya. However, if you apply the alternation property, what you can do here is 7 and x. Tama? 7 and x. I-alternate mo yun. So, si x na dito, si 7 dito. Tapos, si 7 dito. So, mag-cross multiply ka lang sa 2 at saka sa 12. So, you'll have 24 over 7 agad-agad. Okay? So, ganun lang. Napakadali. Okay. Now, can you solve this one? Ayan, medyo mahirap. Dalawang x sa denominator side. So, 7 over x minus 1 is equal to 3 over x minus 1. 3 over x. Now, in this manner, I suggest that you don't use the alternation property. You just use the cross product property. Bakit? Because the variable is both in the denominator of two different fractions. So, mas madali yung i-cross multiply mo lang tapos i-combine like terms. So, ito yun siya. So, 7 times x sa left side and then x minus 1 times 3 naman sa right side. Then, by doing the distributive property sa x minus 1 times 3, so you will have 3x minus 3. And then, by combining like terms, ililipat mo ngayon si 3x. So, that will become 7 minus 3x equals negative 3. Okay? So, 7 minus 3x, that will become 4x equals negative 3. And by dividing both sides by 4, you will have x is equal to negative 3 over 4. Okay? So, ganun lang kadali siya. Kapag merong mga... So, technically, somehow, ang gagawin mo lang talaga is to use your analysis. Okay? In terms of evaluating problems. Para at least, alam mo na hindi ka magsasayang ng oras. Kung ano yung kung sa tingin mo yung pinakamadaling way para sa pag-solve, gawin mo talaga yun. Okay? So, ganun lang. Now, you know enough about properties. Let's solve mysterious problems. Oh, ito na yung tinatawag natin, application sa real life setting. Okay. If your car gets 30 miles per gallon, how many gallons of gas do you need to commute to school every day? Okay. So, sa isang galon daw, kayang patakbuhin ng kotse mo ang 30 miles. Okay? Pero, mula sa bahay, papunta sa school, you only use 5 miles. Then, syempre, pag pauwi, another 5 miles yun. Now, ilang gallons ang magagamit mo? So, ito yon. Let X be the number of gallons we need for a day. Okay? In this given, 30 miles is equal to 1 gallon. Now, remember that we only use 10 miles because papunta at pabalik, 5 and 5. So, we only use 10 miles. Ang tanong, ilang gallon yun siya? Okay. So, by comparing the two fractions, 30 over 1 or 30 miles over 1 gallon is equal to 10 miles over X gallon. Hindi natin alam. By comparing this one, they have the same unit of measure, so you can cancel them out directly. Okay? So, you will get 3 over 1 is equal to 10 over X. So, by doing the cross product property, you will get 30X for the left side, and then 1 times 10, that is 10. So, 30x is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 30, you will have 1/3. Okay? So, sir, pakita mo daw, sir. Para hindi namin nakuha yun. Okay, sorry. Ito yan. Okay. We have here 30 over 1 is equal to 10 over x gallons. Tama? So, by just cross-multiplying, we have 30 x equals 10. Divide both sides by 30. Cancelled out. But since these are both numbers that ends with 0, you can cancel the zeros and you will have 1/3. So, yun siya. However, if you use the alternation property, ito, pwede na yan. X over 1 equals, ano ba yan? 10 over 30. Since x over 1, understood, x na lang yun. So, 10 over 30, that's 1/3. They are just the same. Cross product, alternation. Alright, so I just show two different ways. So, in a day, you will use 1/3 gallons of gas para sa papapunta at pauwi mo sa bahay. Alright, somehow, ito naman. So, you use 1/3 gallon a day. How many gallons would you use for a week? No. Siyempre, tayo pumapasok sa school 5 times a week, tama? So, you just multiply 1/3 by 5. Okay? So, somehow, ito, pinakita dito na in 1/3 gallon per day, so how many gallons per 5 days? So, naka-cancel out na yung mga units of measure natin. So, we have 1/3 over 1 is equal to T over 5. Tapos, we have 1/3 kasi 1/3 divided by 1. So, remember this one. Any number, any fraction that has a denominator of 1, you can delete directly the over 1. So, 1/3 over 1 is 1/3. Okay? So, 1/3. Then, T over 5. So, you will have by cross product property, 1 times 5, that is 5. 3 times T is equal to 3T. So, you have, what property is this? So, syempre, klaro masyado, no? That is cross product property. So, you have 5 over 3 gallons. Because you divide both sides by 3, since 3 is the coefficient of each side, 3 is the coefficient of the variable. So, you have 5 over 3 gallons. So, what you can use in a week is 5 over 3 gallons. Or, 5 over 3, if you convert this into mixed number, that is 2, mali ako. That is 1 and 2/3 gallons. Okay? Kasi paano mo nakuha yung 1 and 2/3 gallons? 5 divided by 3. So, ilang 3 ba yan? So, 1. So, that is 3. So, you have 2. So, therefore, this is your quotient, this is your remainder, and this is your divisor. So, 1 and 2/3. 1 and 2/3. Pang-elementary. Okay, ganon. Now, ito naman ang aking ibibigay sa inyo na pagsubok para sa proportion. Try this. Now, try to solve this one. Hopefully, I know Hindi hopefully pala. I know you can solve this one. Okay? Because I have taught you how to solve problems using ratios and proportion. Okay? Now, another problem here, word problem. Pamela drove her car 99 kilometers and used 9 liters of fuel. She wants to know how many kilometers she can drive with 12 liters of fuel. She assumes that the relationship between kilometers and fuel is proportional. So, how many kilometers can Pamela drive with 12 liters of fuel? Napakadali lang yan. Alright? So, hopefully, nakuha nyo ang ating discussion. If ever there are still confusion about our topic, do not hesitate to comment below, to give your ideas and other techniques if ever gusto mong mag-share ng iba pang way para mas matutunan at mas maintindihan palalo itong ratios and proportion. This has been your Sir Ash, your abot kamay na math teacher. Good day.